What if I told you that the winds of change are whispering through Hollis Hall, stirring up a storm of uncertainty as training camp looms on the horizon? Is it possible that Ryan Poles is playing a dangerous game with the future of our beloved Bears? Or could these moves spark a fire that reignites the passion of a fan base haunted by past glories? Hit that like button and subscribe if you feel the exhilarating tension building, because every pulse-pounding shakeup is setting up for something monumental, a turning point that could redefine our storied franchise. Now, hold on to your hats, because rumors are swirling, and insider whispers hint at decisions that might just send shockwaves through our roster. The vibes are electrifying, and if you're a Bears fan, you know that every decision carries the weight of our entire history on its shoulders. As the fateful cuts approach, Ryan Poles, our fearless general manager, has signed 4 contracts that have this fan's head spinning: Jordan McFadden, Travis Homer, Jade Walker, and J.P. Richardson. Each contract seems a calculated risk, but let me tell you, folks, there's something peculiar about the structure, dead money lurking like a shadow in the night, raising questions. Why invest so heavily in players who might be the roster's chopping block? Could these moves be strategic missteps, or is there a grand design unfolding before our very eyes? To kick things off, let's dissect why McFadden's name has surfaced. This offensive lineman comes in from the LA Chargers, an undrafted gem now, shackled to a 2-year contract that fans like us can't help but raise our eyebrows at. At 6'12", 303 pounds, with a solid history in college, but only a smattering of games under his belt in the league, the Bears are committing nearly $2.2 million to a player who could easily wind up polishing the bench. Tread cautiously, Chicago, because dead cap is a curse that chains down our financial flexibility, similar to how past regimes chained up our hopes. For 2 years, and the prospect of almost $200,000 in dead cap against us if things go awry, Poles has made a bold choice. Is this the start of something beautiful, or simply another gamble at the casino that is the NFL? But wait, the plot thickens. Enter Travis Homer, the veteran running back who brings a heavy $1.75 million contract and a challenging history of injuries to the Bears' overcrowded backfield. Why are we keeping a player who has tallied a meager 11 yards here in Chicago and who hasn't even suited up for a full season in 2 years? Truly, this feels like a move fueling a quagmire when we're loaded with talent like Swift, Johnson, and the promising Ian Wheeler. How much longer do we endure the missed tackle moments while the good stuff rots away on the sideline? Every penny spent on underperforming talent gnaws at the gut, because you bet the ghosts of Bear legends past are not resting easy with contracts that don't produce. Are we merely throwing money at potential that slips through our fingers like sand? Then we have undrafted rookie throwbacks, Jade Walker and J.P. Richardson. Why are we severing ties with old-school tenacity and investing more treasure into the unknown? Walker's contract radiates potential, but will he really the future or just another fleeting possibility? With nearly $200,000 stacked in dead cap, for a guy still finding his footing in the pros, this reeks of desperation. There's undeniable talent, sure, with speed and size, but can we afford to place this much faith in untested hands? Every homage to recent history floods the thoughts of Bears fans who are all too familiar with the agony of what-ifs. The thought of sacrificing our financial future over players who might not even see the field on game day pulls at the heartstrings. And Richardson, as intriguing as he may be, carries the same burden. Is this a bridge too far? As we plunge deeper into this chaos, the stakes cannot be any higher. Could these risky contracts backfire, sending the Bears spiraling back to the depths we've so often fought against? Or, just maybe, is Poles unveiling a shockingly brilliant strategy that entangles history with fresh talent poised to break records? The clock is ticking down to cuts and emotions run high. Could we be staring at a shift that marks the beginning of a historic revival? Or is this all smoke and mirrors ensnaring us in destiny's worst nightmare? With each moment passing, I urge you to lean in closer, because the real story has yet to unfold. Only time will tell if the Bears are gearing up for glory, or if we're staring at yet another season, scrambling to make sense of a winding road ahead. The uncertainty hangs thick like a fog, whispering promises of change, and I want to hear your thoughts, your hopes, your fears, your dreams, because there's so much riding on the decisions made behind the closed doors of Hollis Hall. Stay tuned, because this narrative is just heating up. Embrace yourselves as part 2 looms on the horizon. The unknown is calling. And we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress enough how we need to rally together, because for all of us who carried the weight of the monsters of the Midway, it is time to awaken the echoes of our glorious past. We must summon our shared pain, the bitter taste of double doinks and playoff heartbreaks, and transform that agony into ironclad resolve. We're the heart of this city, the lifeblood of the Bears who once had icons like Singletary and Ehrlicher, and we know what it means to bleed blue and orange. Now, with the shadows of our past looming large, it's time to ask ourselves, is this the moment that defines us, or will it slip away like a fourth-quarter fumble? Now imagine if our so-called fearless leaders down at Hollis Hall are making moves not just for this season, but for who we could be in a decade from now. What if they're finally embracing the swirling storm of criticism, trading away the stale and the tired for fresh energy, while igniting a camaraderie that the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions dread? Can you picture that locker room, the palpable electricity, fueled by young blood and hungry veterans gathering around a fire, motivated not just by the name on the front, but the ones on the back they've always wanted to honor? But then, what if it isn't just the team reloading or rethinking? What if it's a full-on culture reset? We've been down this road before, obsessing over missed opportunities and jittery quarterbacks. It's a road lined with the ghosts of 1985's glory, taunting us with glimmers of what a true champion looks like. Remember 2006, how close we were only to fall at the foot of the Colts? Or that crushing night in 2010 when everything seemed on the line, but a last-second fade fell short? We swing from despair to euphoria, building our hopes just to watch them crash down in the face of reality. And as those fierce winds blow off Lake Michigan, lapping against the shores of Soldier Field like the nagging doubts that fill our minds, we can't help but wonder, have we finally hit the sweet spot, or is this just another false dawn? Can you feel the mounting intensity with every quarter that passes, every snap that sends us deeper into our own psyche? A visceral showdown between faith and skepticism running through our veins. Picture it. The Bears taking the field, the air thick with potential, as we forget the years of mismanagement and disillusionment. The cheers of the unswerving fans shaking the stadium to its core as we unleash the hope that we've sworn never to let die. But will that dance with destiny inevitably lead to just another night of what-ifs and regret? The devotion we carry is forged through years of wear and tear, and I ask you, as we cling to our dreams of glory amid the chaos, can we trust this new plan, this new vision, or are we just a play away from spiraling into a familiar abyss? You? See, questions pulse like a heartbeat, demanding resolution in a city starved for triumph. We search for the kind of clarity that slipped through our fingers like grains of sand, a flicker of hope or a harbinger of doom. Can we rely on a rebuild that mends what has so long been broken? Can we sustain our spirit against the tide of those rival teams, who sit comfortably atop their division standings, salivating at the thought of witnessing our falter once more? It's this intricate and fragile balance we find ourselves wrapped in, where glory isn't just a play or team record, but an elixir we so desperately need to quench our thirst for validation. So I ask you, what if the answer lies not just in the heart of our players, but in the passion of every single fan gathered in bars like this across Chicago, in living rooms packed to the gills on a Sunday afternoon? Are we bold enough to believe again, ready to invest our hearts into another wave of Bears football? The storm is brewing, the winds are howling, and I leave you with this. When the clock ticks down and the stakes rise higher than we've ever seen, Ready your hearts, Bears fans, because every single play from here on out could either shatter our hopes like fragile glass or ignite a fire that burns brighter than the North Star itself.